Halo 3, the icon of the series. This is the game that players have loved from year to year to year. Today I'm going to talk about all of the different glitches, tricks, mechanics, all of the things in the background that you didn't know were there, but you can use and abuse to enjoy every second of this game. Let's get started. To start things off, ghost jumping. I've only been able to find one iteration of this throughout Halo 3, and it's on the first mission, Sierra 117. It's literally the first trick in the game. Basically, what you do is you walk up in between where polygons connect, and you can abuse the hitbox of your character to almost clip inside of an object and get an extra jump, even though there's not a ledge or a floor for you to jump off of. It's almost as if the polygons of, in this particular instance, this rock is protruding, but you can't see it. And you run and you jump up this slant, and right as you're at the peak of sliding up this slanted rock, you can mash A and get an extra jump and skip the entire first combat section of the game. Crazy. Another form of jumping that you may not know have existed is something I like to call the butterfly jump. Basically, how this works is it's similar to ghost jumping, except you are using a teammate or an enemy. Enemies, you can only go so high, but if you use a teammate or a partner, you can stand them up in a corner, they face the corner, and then you jump off of their head, and you literally, all you both do is continue to jump. And you can get as high as the hitbox will let you go. This was something I didn't even know existed until just recently, and being able to do like the Super Mario jump off of nothing in games still today, that's crazy to me. This next version of jumping requires a piece of equipment. You can either use a trip mine, you can use a DC or deployable cover, and in some cases, if you're quick enough, you can use a power drain. The power drain equipment jump is a little bit harder, if I recall, but basically you're doing an equipment jump. So what you do is you look straight down, you throw the equipment directly underneath you, and then you jump or mash A. And what you can do is you get an extra jump off of that. This is used in a lot of different places for various different reasons. There's a DC jump at the start of the arc to skip a big area right at the beginning. You can use a DC jump on Crow's Nest if you mess up a hammer launch. There's a trip mine jump in combination with a hammer launch on Floodgate that skips a large portion of the very end of that mission. Equipment jumping is super useful, and I absolutely love it. And I didn't make it. I didn't make it, boys. Oh my god! Oh my god! Now, hammer launching is a completely different beast for the tricks category. This is used on every single mission that has a hammer on it in the speedrun, and it's actually even used in the Deathless run on Crow's Nest. Now, it used to be used on Floodgate until we found an out-of-bounds pathing that's just a lot easier to be used. But still, hammer launching is absolutely crazy. Basically, what you do is you stand up next to a box. You can use a various number of different boxes. Some of these launches require you to knock the box to get a launch off of it. Some you can just stand right next to and you hold forward into it, or you just stand next to it, either one. But basically what you're doing is you line up on the box and you swing the hammer. And what I think is happening is whenever you swing the hammer, it's like the hit of the hammer hits behind the box and knocks the box into you, sending you directly straight back, like in the opposite direction of where the hammer actually hit, which is used all over the place to skip large chunks of a lot of different missions. The next launch that I want to discuss is the DC launch, or deployable cover launch. This really isn't used in the Deathless run because the trajectory and speed and whatnot um, varies really based on how well you execute this glitch or trick. But it's pretty inconsistent. You kind of need a checkpoint revert to get the desired results. But basically what you do is you grab a deployable cover, and you're going to want to look straight down, jump in the air, and then throw the deployable cover straight down. What's going to happen is it's going to land underneath you, and then while you're falling from your jump, you need to hold crouch, and you will basically land kind of clipped inside of the deployable cover. So once you're clipped inside of this, depending on the direction that you want to go, a backwards DC launch and a forward DC launch are pretty normal launches that you can go for. The upward launch I've only seen one time in the Halo 3 Done Segmented project, but as you land, you're going to want to continue holding crouch and then crouch toward your desired direction, forward or backward. And what will happen is once your character gets unclipped, it's almost like you're building up momentum the longer that you're clipped inside the deployable cover. Once your character gets out of that clip, you will get launched a very long distance. And this trick has even been used to actually clip through solid walls. Oh, yes, dude! That's so sick! Oh! On the note of clipping through solid walls, there are actually buttons that you can hit through walls as well. For example, at the start of the storm, whenever you're entering into the first area, you're supposed to go up top, walk around, hit the button, fight some enemies, and then proceed through the mission. You don't have to do that at all. You can literally just walk up to the first door, jump up, and then hit the button and open the door, and you're completely safe. Another version of wall clipping is actually on the storm as well. It's a door clip using a mongoose in the first scarab fight of the game. Basically, you just go grab yourself a mongoose and you drive it past a barrier you're not supposed to drive it by getting out of the vehicle just before you get up to the barrier. And what happens is the mongoose carries the momentum as you're getting out, and then you can kind of melee the vehicle through the barrier. It's a little weird, but it's pretty cool once you get it done. You get through this barrier, you can line up the mongoose against the door in a specific way, and you can just get out and clip through the door and skip the entire scarab fight. And this brings us to the barrier break. This is only seen one time, as far as I could find, and it's on the mission The Covenant. After the initial beach fight section, you come up against a couple of ghosts and a turret and a few enemies as you're proceeding to the first tower. The trick lies in getting a ghost without destroying it from one of the enemies. You grab this ghost and you drive up the mountain on your left-hand side. There is actually a soft barrier up there that you can clip through. If you've played Halo 3, you already know that most of the walls, most of the outside areas are blocked off. There's soft barriers there that push you back down into the main segment of the map. But using vehicle physics, you can actually clip through these barriers. So you take the ghost, you drive up this wall, and then you line up on the left-hand side of this almost triangular piece of barrier. It's invisible, but whenever you get to this piece of snow on the top of this mountain, you can see what I'm talking about. You line up on the left-hand side of this invisible barrier, and you push the ghost all the way up as far as it can go using the boost. And then once you reach the peak of this barrier and your ghost stops moving forward, all you do is get out, and if done correctly, you can clip through the barrier and skip the entire first tower encounter. This is insane for the Deathless run because you don't have to deal with the Wraith or any of the reinforcements, any of the snipers, anything in that first tower section. One side note on the topic of Wraiths is the AA Wraith boarding glitch. Basically, you can drive the AA Wraith, Bungie designed this vehicle to not be able to be driven by the player, but us glitchers have found a way to do it. Essentially, all you do is get on top of the Wraith. You don't want to board it, you just want to sit on top of it. And you want to melee off the hatch and either noob combo or melee the brute down to no shield. Once this is done, all you need to do is shoot the Wraith in the head while holding X. Now, this is a little bit of a problem because what's going to happen is you need to hold X, but you need to hold X to where the prompt to board the AA Wraith doesn't pop up, because what will happen is if you hit it, you'll board the Wraith, and that it doesn't work that way. Basically, what you're doing is once you kill that brute that's inside the vehicle, the very next frame you have to be holding X or action reload, and that will allow you to take over the AA Wraith. So if you've boarded it, what'll happen is whenever you hit it, it'll just blow up. But if you're sitting on top of it, the brute is no shield, you shoot him while holding X, your character will take over the AA Wraith, and it is now a drivable vehicle. And this thing is a ton of fun to use. Moving on, anti-gravity driving. At least this is what I like to call it. This glitch or trick can be seen on the level of the Ark. It is when the dawn enters the atmosphere.
Oh my God!
All of the debris and everything gets brushed away. Pretty much what you do is you line your ghost up, or a ghost that you will need for this trick. I probably should have let off with that. You line up the ghost on a rock, and whenever the dawn flies in, you can do this based off of an audio cue. And you basically just boost off of this rock into the air or the gravity that's being pushed, the opposite direction. What'll happen is, if done correctly, you'll fly up and over the ledge, and then since you're not supposed to be up here, the game doesn't really know exactly what to do with that, but you can use a brute shot to launch your ghost past the barrier. This barrier is a little hard to describe because it doesn't block the player from walking, but it stops the player if you're in a vehicle. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, you can't drive past this invisible barrier, but you can walk past it. And for this trick to work properly, to get the ghost out of the map right here, that's the objective essentially, you need a brute shot, and what you do is you melee and shoot the ghost past the barrier, and then you can skip a bunch of enemies in the next section. All the hunters, the phantom, the bunch of fuel rod enemies, all of the wraiths. You can skip all of that stuff on your way to the first wall fight. Another vehicle glitch worth mentioning is the fall timer cancel. This is also one of those one-off tricks that I only have found one good spot to use it, but it is also on the Ark, and it's after the Scarab battle. You can grab a chopper and boost on top of the structure where you're supposed to go. And once you drive up top, there's a little drop down that you normally can't survive. But if you drive through, you fall down this crevice in a chopper, and if you get out of the chopper mid-fall, you can actually reset your fall timer to where essentially you can fall twice the normal distance, and you can skip everything, all of the enemies that you would normally fight going up that ramp, and just go straight in the building. Alongside the fall timer cancel glitch, there is also a technique. This is kind of a little bit of an off-topic one, but it's worth mentioning because it's a pretty cool way to get a vehicle where it's not supposed to go. The, grav lift skip or broken bridge skip on Savo Highway. All you're doing is grabbing a grav lift and throwing it near the broken bridge area where, the game wants you to get out and walk across and you have to fight enemies on foot. If you just take a grav lift there and throw it down, you can just drive the Warthog over the grav lift. That's a way better way to play through the end of Savo rather than taking all that stuff out on foot. The last glitch or trick that is vehicle-based is called funnily enough, the time travel glitch. I'm not exactly sure where time travel came from. I want to say it's because you're traveling back and forth in between loads in an outside area of the map. It's really hard to see because the way the map overlays based on BSP loads is very awkward on the Covenant. So the time travel glitch, let's just get to that. Basically, you grab a ghost on the Covenant, it's near the end, and what you can do with this ghost is you can skip a whole bunch of enemies by driving outside of the map. This is one of the few sections in the game where the soft barriers that are almost everywhere else are not a problem. You drive this ghost out of the map, and then you do a series of traveling in between different load zones, and what this does is deloads certain things in the next section of the map where the double scarab fight would be. I believe it despawns some enemies that I'm not 100% sure of, but I know that it despawns a bunch of the towers that the fuel rod brutes sit in, and the doors that are closed that only open whenever you finish killing both of the scarabs. You know, you kill both the scarabs, Phantom comes in, Arbiter, woo, let's go, we're gonna go kill Truth, yay, woo! You can skip all that shit doing the time travel glitch. So, take the ghost, you go out of the map, you travel in between these load zones, and you just despawn the doors. You get in the Hornet, fly up to the door, and it's open. You just walk in there, skip everything, go to the final bridge. Sick. One last thing. You might not know about this. It's on Halo, the very last mission. This isn't really a glitch. It's just something that I learned that is kind of funny. Whenever you get to the Warthog driving section in the roundabouts, you can actually sit at the start of the roundabouts forever. Like, all of the platforming that's following behind you that, you know, gives you the impression that you need to haul ass and get the hell out of there. No. Once you get to that very first section of the roundabout, you can just chill, take a nap, get something to eat, let the dog out. Did you know that there's AI manipulation in Halo 3 as well? Of course you did. Come on. Well, if you didn't know about it, you can manipulate the AI in Halo 3. The most notable example of this is the Brute Chieftains with the hammer. You can stand right in front of them and make them do a specific pathing to where they will always hammer the same way. And all you do is sidestep to the left, and you can just back smack them. Even if they're invincible. It's the craziest thing and the best iteration of AI manipulation in Halo 3 that exists. On the topic of AI, at the very end of Cortana, all of the enemies in the room before you initially grab Cortana, you can break their AI. Once you enter the room where you're supposed to blow up the 3 structures to blow up High Charity and destroy the Gravemind, if you skip all the enemies in that room, leave, go get Cortana, and come back, you'll have the next, section of enemies, the next, bunch of them that will be there ready to fight you. But all of the enemies that you left behind will just stand there and do absolutely nothing. Bitch. Overall, the AI in Halo 3 just never ceases to amaze me. I mean, I've seen random Marine spawns outside the map on the Covenant. There's just some dude standing out in the snow. No idea what he's doing there, but he's chilling. He's like, what up? So we have that guy. Then I've seen on Sierra 117, at the end of the mission, I've just seen a grunt floating in the sky. He's sleeping, he's just chilling, floating there. What the hell happened? I have no idea. I've seen Double Johnson at the end of Sierra. Don't know what that's about.
Oh, we're fucked, dude.
They naded themselves. You're clean.
Johnson is sitting here next to me, dude. Where I'm hiding. And all these idiots. Oh,
wait,
fuck.
Johnson's over here. I'm getting over there.
What?
I'm coming. Johnson's over here.
No, we're good, we're good. Dude, Johnson's right here, dude.
Dude, we got 2 Johnsons. What?
We don't. Show me where your Johnson is.
Right here. I'm staring at him.
Wait, what?
What is fucking going on right now?
Look at me. Look at me. Zoom in.
Dude, we got 2 Johnsons. What the fuck is this? Why do we have 2 Johnsons? I think it's the Johnson from the previous section, like the one that runs into the cave. I think he got stuck somehow and followed me through the cave even after I already ran through it. I don't know, that one was weird. I've even seen double of the Arbiter at the end of the Covenant in the inside of the building right where you're fighting Truth. I've had 2 Arbiters there before I activated the switch that, that activates the cutscene to kill Truth. Why the fuck do I have... What is going on here? Like, what is going on here? God, I love Halo 3. During the Cortana and Gravemind moments, you're actually invincible. You can't die. You can clip into void space, you can go through walls, you can be attacked by enemies. Anything that could kill you in a Cortana and Gravemind moment, it doesn't kill you anymore. These moments can also be overlapped to save time in a speedrun iteration, which makes it even better. Let me know in the comments if you knew that this was a thing. To finish things up, everyone's favorite glitch in Halo 3 is on Halo at the very end. The infinite Spartan laser glitch, where our best friend Johnson makes one of his final appearances.
In just a few more days.
We don't have a few more days.
But a premature firing will destroy the Ark.
Deal with it.
Will destroy this installation.
Basically, how this glitch works is you get out of bounds during the little wave fight at the exterior of the building on Halo, jump up out of the map, and Johnson is up there with a Spartan laser. You shoot him in the head, he drops the Spartan laser. You don't want this first one. You take the first Spartan laser, dispose of it. Johnson will revive and have a second Spartan laser. You kill him again, shoot him in the head. Don't use grenades or shoot him with rockets or stuff, because sometimes his AI is different and he can betray you right there. So you just want to do 2 headshots, boom, boom, and let that be that. The second Spartan laser is the one that you want. This one will have a random number generated in the ammo counter of the laser, and that's how you know you'll have the infinite laser. This thing is literally bottomless clip. It doesn't run out of ammo, and you just kill everything at the very end of the game very, very easily. And just to kind of like piggyback this a little bit, you can actually juggle this inside the building through all the Gravemind moments and whatnot right before you fight Spark at the very end. If you drop that weapon outside of the door, go in, fight Spark, and come back out, it will still be waiting for you there, so you can also use it at the very end to make sure you have plenty of ammo to clear out everything else to get you nice and easy to the final Warthog run. So to wrap things up with Halo 3, I saved my personal favorite, the best for last, the flying dumpster glitch. You can actually get inside of a dumpster, it doesn't matter what map it's on. You get inside of this dumpster and you use yourself and a teammate and you just jump, kind of like offset back and forth, and you could just fly the dumpster off into anywhere. It's absolutely hysterical that you can defy gravity inside of the dumpster, and I had so much fun messing around with this. It's just a blast. This video was very fun to make. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to check it out. Let me know if you learned anything new in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.